Are you tired of no one listening to you in squad? Do you feel ignored as your squad spreads out across the map meaninglessly, doing their own thing? Do you wish that you could get people to follow you into battle?
Okay, Dark, you're gonna stay back on support by fire. Everybody, we're moving up, we're advancing through the smoke. Let's go, follow me.
Execute actual tactics,
Bravo team, keep up the fire.
and give yourself and your squad that rare squad high we always search for, of being part of a well-coordinated squad. Then join me today as I analyze and break down the leadership of a squad leader who keeps his squad in the fight, executes real-world tactics, and keeps his squad close together and following orders. This mystical squad leader is someone you might know, a fellow YouTuber by the name of Habyong Dance, or Dance for short. He's a squad YouTuber that focuses on the milsim aspects of squad, and how to apply real-world tactics to the game. Him and I jumped on with members of the 5FC Filthy Casuals, with Dance volunteering as tribute for squad leader. The match was Invasion on Al Basra, with our team as Canada on the attack and Insurgents on the defense. I've time-stamped all of the topics we will cover in the video today, so feel free to jump to which topics interest you the most. Now, I won't focus too much on the start of the match because I wasn't recording for some of it and it honestly wasn't too eventful. We just waited for the Lavs to clear out the first Insurgent objective and then capped it pretty effortlessly. Our first real fight would be at HVT Compound. After Ruins is secured, we started relocating to the north of HVT Compound. Notice how Dance is keeping his entire squad together by piling us all into a transport truck.
Okay guys, let's get in the transport truck.
This sounds simple, but most SLs would probably have made their squad just run over open ground from Ruins to HVT Compound, dooming their squad to a long walk and most likely a bullet to the head. Secondly, Dance is smart about his movement. He is allowing one of the Lavs to push forward ahead of him to clear out any resistance as we push in behind the Lav. An IED biker tries to ruin our day, but he wasn't counting on me to tumble out of the vehicle and shoot him before he could blow his load. No homo.
Engage that motorcycle.
Al Basra is quite an open place. It would not be fast, safe, or efficient to move across the open desert on foot. So instead of placing a rally and making us attack a entrenched position 400 meters away, Dance takes a risk and piles us up in the Lav that we cross the bridge with.
6, do you think you can mount my squad up and do a hot drop on HVT?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll meet you on squad 1 observe. We're piling into squad 6 is Lav. Let's mount up. Right here is good. Yep.
The plan is to hot drop on top of HVT. Now, I definitely would have placed a rally before doing this, just in case, but let's see how this goes before jumping to conclusions.
2. I have no idea on that.
Alright, wait for my call, okay? We're good. My call.
Right.
Start.
Andrew, go ahead and spawn on the hab. That's what at E5. Alright, get ready, boys.
AT on
Alright, dismount. Dismount.
Is there a lot of,
I need one on me to the north on the river.
4 minutes, so I don't think they're in the compound. We're switching to smoke. Careful, one. We're still some
Hostile
HE
forces
coming in.
nearby. Let's get inside the compound. Hold defensive. There are a lot of enemies around here, guys.
Habs are right around the corner.
I'll be taking this soon.
Second level. Inside the building. One there.
Alright, that didn't go well. Now, some people define leaders by their greatest successes, but in my opinion, the greatest leaders are the ones who can quickly recover from a defeat and get back into the fight. Napoleon lost several battles throughout his military career, but always recovered and ended up winning shocking victories that, quite frankly, he had no business winning. Until, of course, he didn't. Dance demonstrates the exact attitude you should have when your plans don't work out. Dance simply analyzed the situation, formulated a plan, then brought it into action.
Alright, everybody, let's give up respawn D7. We're giving up respawning D7. We'll rally up on my move.
Delta 7.
We then tried to push the compound with two distinct fire teams Dance had set up beforehand. Charlie as the maneuver element and Bravo as the fire element.
Bravo, let's go ahead and get up front, push towards point.
Oh shit. Guys, cool guys don't look at explosions. Let's keep moving.
Hey, Squad 9, you wanna shoot
Better
the
yet,
fucking
cool guys
bridge?
get already dropped on them.
Okay.
Enemies front, enemies front. Alright, Bravo team, you're giving base of fire. Charlie team, you guys are advancing. Charlie team, move.
Go get some extra ammo and a resupply for the helo. Just one sec.
Crossing all landing short.
Appreciate it.
Grenade, go. Grenades out.
Wow, dude.
Direct on the other side of the
The push was a little too early. The enemy were well entrenched, and the other squads had not yet begun to pressure them from the other angles. Because of this, the push didn't go well, and we lost momentum pretty quickly. Now let's see how Dance reacts.
Hey, if you guys are capable, let's break contact. Let's break contact. Backwards. We're going backwards now.
Bravo's down,
Let's hold on behind this wall on my observe here. We're gonna stay in cover and we're just gonna wait for the rest of the team to coordinate.
Orders are coming in on HVT again. If any labs have ammo, be
That's
much
good.
appreciated.
Grenade.
Medic here.
Hey, let's get me some smoke grenades on my move mark. Get me some smoke grenades on my move mark so we can possibly get Darkfire up. I don't know if we can though.
Oh, I just gave up.
Never mind then. Alright guys, we're holding position here. Holding position here. Just keep peeking and shooting the enemy. Start shooting them. Let's get some kills. We have direct line of sight into the compound.
Dance reacted by telling us to stop the push, fall back, and fire at the enemies as we see them. There are two things I want to note on this. First, tactically, Dance stopped an ineffective push and turned it into a fixed position in which to distract the enemies in the compound. This was important, as the squads from the north were actively moving over open ground to push the enemy objective. Our distraction helped our team close the distance. A lot of squad leaders would have just continued to throw bodies into the mix, wasting tickets and allowing the enemy to pay attention to other areas. But with a fixed position with good cover, we were able to put effective fires on the enemy and sufficiently distract them. Secondly, I want to note how Dance communicates with his squad throughout the match. He does not appear nervous, he does not ramble, and he does not yap. He speaks only when he needs to speak, so when he does speak, you know he has something important to say. I feel many squad leaders may have the technical knowledge to be a squad leader, but lack the charisma to be effective leaders. You get nervous, you ramble, and you keep changing your mind, and you seem indecisive. And I get it. Squad leading is extremely stressful. There's a reason no one wants to squad lead anymore. But if you ramble, your squad is just going to tune you out. Instead, analyze the situation in front of you, make a plan, communicate that plan, and then execute on it. This is what Dance does, and it makes him appear like he knows what he is doing. It inspires confidence, and even if the push fails, you don't care, because you know Dance will adjust accordingly and attack from a new angle. So in summary, do not ramble or appear nervous, and think logically. Remember, analyze the situation, make a plan, communicate that plan to your squad, and then execute. Now back to the push. Dance has allowed the situation to cook a bit. He's got his squad in a good fixed position, putting effective fires on HVT, and now the rest of the team is catching up. Dance identifies that now is the time to push.
Alright guys, get ready to advance. Stand by to advance.
The rep station.
Dark, can you give me a smoke screen directly on that compound on my observe,
Mark
please?
heading south.
Squad 9, can you look behind you and just
I'm coming
kill
towards
this
you.
fucking
Squad
tank?
9.
Just fucking deaf. Squad 9,
Okay,
Odysseus.
Dark, you're gonna stay back on support by fire. Everybody, we're moving up. We're advancing through the smoke. Let's go. Follow me.
Five mark.
Keep it spread out. Keep it spread out. Yep, yep, yep.
He's heading north.
Keep it spread out. Stay off the road. Change the mag.
Reloading.
Haji down.
Movement front.
Five. Do you see
One
those
down.
down there?
Hey, let's throw some frags out. Frags out northeast. Frags out northeast. Throw one frag each out northeast. I got a bandage. Hang on.
Should be boxing on that hand.
Thank you, Dr. Cleve.
He gets the Grenadier to blind HVT with smoke rounds and we push in. Also notice how he is reminding the squad to spread out so we don't get annihilated by grenades. This is a squad full of people who play together regularly and we are still guilty of clumping up. Point is, don't be afraid to remind your Grenadier of what his job is or to remind your squad not to clump up. These are the small things you can do that may add up to winning or losing firefights. Dance inspires confidence by leading by example and leading the charge. You don't need to explain where and how you should move to the squad if you are leading the charge itself. And when people are close to you, they feel compelled to listen to your orders. Now I get hit and run back to the medic. It's no coincidence the medic is staying behind the attack, not pushing in. I'm sure Dance told him he needs to stay back to heal people, and this is something that medics should usually be doing anyways. Medics are not entry fraggers. They need to be behind the main attack, healing and reviving as they go. As an SL, it's good to remind your medics of this to prevent squad wipes. We take the compound fairly painlessly with the rest of the team. I find the radio, dig it down a level, and camp it until it's safe to dig down. In the interest of time, we will fast forward a bit.
Like I keep telling you guys, get inside a building, get inside a building.
We got bombed a bit by mortars and UB-32s, but we secured HVT compound and now Dance makes his next move.
Okay, unless you are a medic or if you're down, I want everybody moving up north back to the hab and the radio.
Notice how Dance isn't allowing all of us to just figure it out for ourselves and run wherever. After HVT is taken and the rocket strikes stop, he immediately tells us to push to the move marker as a rally point. As a squad leader, keeping your squad together, or at least in the same general area, is one of the most important things you need to do. Once at the rally, we dig the now useless radio so the enemy team can't have the tickets. We're then briefed that we are hopping in a LAV to storm western outskirts.
It's a free kick. We are getting a pickup from a LAV who will drop us on west outskirts.
Load in the LAV and move out. Just before we hit the outskirts, all hell breaks loose.
We're gonna push west outskirts. We're gonna secure these compounds on the north side. Get ready to dismount, 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 dismount.
Everyone out.
Get security after the back. Inside this building on left there, guys.
In times like these, it's easy for people to be unsure of what to do. Some may stay in the LAV, some will cower in the neighboring buildings, and some will even lay out in the middle of the open. Dance prevents what could be a disaster by immediately springing into action. He gets us out of the open and into cover. It seems obvious, but again, many SLs would just let their squad mates do whatever. Meanwhile, Dance is taking direct leadership over us and keeping us organized. We keep posted south as ordered and stand by, exchanging fire with the enemy from good cover. What you're about to see is Dance coordinating bounty movements by fire team toward the enemy objective. Let's see how this plays out, and then we'll break it down.
Charlie team, get ready to move. Get ready to move. Join me on the first floor. Get ready to move. I need a smoke screen on the road to the southwest.
Roger. Stand by.
Smoke's out.
9 behind us, we had an enemy fucking logi.
Bravo team, get eyes out. Start engaging enemies. I see enemies on the windows.
We're in the roof south.
Enemies on the
We need more security on the north.
south. Sandbags on the roof.
You gotta move the
Hostiles coming up in the middle of their city.
Alright, Charlie team, we're moving. We're moving direct south, actually, towards my observe.
Bravo team, keep up the fire.
Keep shooting, Bravo.
Bravo, shift your fire.
Alright.
Bravo team, go ahead and move up and join us here. Alright, Charlie team, get eyes out south on these windows.
Medic.
Excuse me. Alright, we're gonna scoot shift one more building down south on my observe. Let's go.
Hab is down on the city.
Hey, 9, we're good down here, dude. There's nothing down here.
I kill.
We are killing issues. Our objective is get to the move mark. It's important that we stay on the east side of the road. Do not wander into the west side. Hey, enemies south, start shooting them. Dropped one. Alright, Bravo, keep up the fire. Charlie, get ready to move. Charlie, we're bounding. Follow me. We're going to observe.
Roger that.
They used the radio on us and we survived it. Should go cool down.
Inside the compound, boys. Come on, bring them in. Hab in the central city's coming back up. Trying to get some targets.
Charlie, hold inside this building on my observe.
Push people for the point.
SPG truck on 5 mark.
Look on the land here,
111 to your west on 5 mark.
Bravo move.
I'm down. We still have the
Coming
point.
in, you have a Logi right next to 11. Anti-air is engaging.
Anti-air's right there, marker. Yeah, anti-air marker.
Alright, next move is gonna be for
Please
this
kill it
building on my
anti-air.
move mark, guys. This is gonna be where the real assault starts.
No, that's an
Bravo,
SPG
tell me
truck
when you
that's
guys are
on 5
okay.
that shot at you.
Bye.
Come on, guys. I'm in here drinking water. I'm playing with one hand. Is that why you're playing with one hand? You're drinking water, really? Yeah, I'm literally reaching over my hand and grabbing water. If I smoke the road, will that encourage people to push?
Okay, Charlie, we're moving. Charlie, we're moving.
Go.
Bravo, get cover. Watch the road smoke.
Hey, we're gonna breach this compound.
Shit. Bravo, move up. We're gonna breach this compound on road mark.
Roger, moving.
Grenade.
I got a bandage, I'm hit. One down, two down. Get grenades over the wall. Grenade! Grenade! Oh, Grenade!
That was TK2.
That was TK2, dude.
Hold on the door. Hey, give me shovels on this thing. Yeah, hold on. Shovels.
Alright, first, Dance demonstrates that it is not enough to have tactical knowledge, you must also know how to properly execute it in games to be effective. He states clear-cut objectives for both fire teams. He places marks on a building and tells each squad to take those buildings. When bounding, he tells Bravo to cover Charlie as they are moving across the street. These are clearly stated objectives that all push toward a clearly stated goal. Next, barking orders isn't what makes you a good squad leader. It is also just as important for your squad to know why they are doing something. Otherwise, they might ignore the orders in favor of what they deem in the moment as the right move. Also recognize how he is not biting off more than he can chew. If he had simply told us to bound to the next objective, we would probably quickly lose cohesion and be spread out all over the next city block. Instead, he maintains cohesion by giving us waypoints. We move across the street to a building, secure it, then once everyone is across the street, move to the next building until we are on the objective. And it goes without saying, but Dance does this quickly and effectively to match Squad's fast pace. Next, notice how Dance is always either getting us on the objective or moving toward the objective. Playing the fucking objective is a simple concept that a lot of squad leaders don't seem to grasp. I also want to point out that this entire match, Dance has been micromanaging his squad. He tells the medic to stay behind and get revives. He orders the grenadier to smoke out enemy positions, he reminds the squad to rearm, and he warns us to stay in cover. Making these little adjustments makes your squad more efficient. Even veteran players forget and make mistakes. So as a squad leader, you shouldn't be afraid to give orders to individuals and to remind your squad of the simple but important things, like for example, don't run out into the open, stay in cover, and so on. There is a difference between micromanaging and being an overbearing dictator. You should remind players to rearm and where to set up at. You shouldn't, however, be trying to guide their every action. You've got to give your squad members some degree of autonomy, otherwise they will be ineffective and frustrated. Before we move on, there's one last thing I'd like to point out. The Bravo Fireteam leader, Darkfire, has been taking off some of the workload from Dance, telling Bravo Team to suppress and when to move. Good Fireteam leaders like this are pivotal, because they deal with the micromanaging of the squad, with matters such as rearming the squad, telling them to suppress, telling them when to move, and etc., which allows the squad leader to focus on the bigger picture. If you're playing pubs, you probably won't have this luxury, but it's good to point out that fire team leaders that actually, well, lead, take some of that burden and pressure away from the squad leader, and that's something I think more squad players should do. Now, the rest of the match goes pretty fast and relatively uneventful. The enemy team basically gives up, and we cap the next 3 points relatively easily. Before we rate Dance's performance, however, there's a few caveats I'd like to mention. It's important to note that we are playing with a pretty clan-stacked squad, most of which is the 5FC, with only 2 randoms inside the squad. You might think this invalidates Dance's ability to coordinate a squad. After all, he is playing with all these players regularly, and even trains with them. Of course they're going to be more coordinated. But I don't think that familiarity with your squad mates and training makes for a more coordinated squad by itself. Sure, maybe on a micro level, in these small 1 to 2 man engagements, you'll be more efficient. But I've also seen these exact same guys become just as useless as everyone else in the hands of less capable squad leaders. Tactical knowledge and training does not equal combat effectiveness unless a squad leader can capitalize on it. Even if Dance's squad was full of randoms, I think he could still pull off these basic tactics he is applying here. It's not particularly difficult to figure out what a fire and maneuver element is, and you can explain it briefly if you need to. For example, Charlie's squad is going to stay back and fire at the enemy, Bravo's squad is going to move, and vice versa. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of the other squads, because while I think Dance does a great job in this match, we would not have won if it were not for the efforts of the other squads. If it wasn't for the Lavs, the insurgents could have had a field day shooting Canadian infantry over open ground, and Dance would have had a harder time efficiently transporting his squad or assaulting the compound as he did. And while Dance generally worked off the rallies and did not use FOBs throughout this match, the other squad set up good FOBs that allowed consistent pressure from other flanks that was essential in winning the match. But before we go, let's put Dance to the test of the 4 core squad leading principles, as stated by Captain, hallowed be his name, patron saint of squad SLs. Mobility. I give Dance an A+ on the principle of mobility. Dance quickly and efficiently moves his squad to wherever he needs to. In the first half, he keeps the transport truck in tow and uses it to move his squad around. And when his transport is not nearby, he uses the Lavs to quickly get his squad back in play. Dance is acing the squad leading principle of mobility. Awareness. Dance demonstrates strong awareness by constantly scanning the environment and making adjustments as the situation changes. He turns his assault into a holding pattern when it doesn't go well, and waits for other squads to catch up before continuing his assault. He understands where the enemy is and tailors his plan around the situation. We push southwest around HVT and attack the enemy from the flank, rather than driving straight into the enemy. Well, after that one time, of course. For that, I give a B+ in awareness. Cohesion. I give Dance a A+ in cohesion. Dance is constantly working to make sure the squad stays together. We always move on foot together, we travel long distances in either a transport or a lav, and we always rally together before moving out. And even in active combat, we're still working together. When we all perished on the failed hot drop attack, he immediately rallied the squad to the nearest spawn and got us back in the fight. Communication. I give Dance yet another A+ for communication. Dance aces communication by keeping his squad in the loop at all times. There is never a point in this game where our squad does not know what we are doing. He always keeps his squad aware of what the plan is. Additionally, he manages his squad members to keep them on task and efficient. He reminds us to rearm, he tells the medic to hang back and heal people, he tells the grenadier to smoke out the enemy before a push. These are the small things that make your squad more cohesive and overall effective. Overall, Dance is a great squad leader that proves that common sense tactics and bold leadership still have a place in squad. He aces almost all of the core principles of squad leading, and I look forward to playing with him again. That's all I have for you. Be sure to check out Dance's channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.